she's ever played on.
First set. Wozniacki to serve. Play. Love.
You have played Caroline on many occasions. We'll talk about your record against her at some suitable point. And I'm very interested what your sense of what Ponchet is really facing out here.
And you can already see a little bit Ponchet's quirky technique. And I love when you get to see individual styles in tennis. I think just makes the sport more fun and colorful.
To be on the safe side. But if you were telling Jessika, okay, you're facing Caroline, this is what's coming at you, what would it be?
It's so difficult to play her. So one, the backhand, she almost never misses. It's so good, and she opens the court so well and then goes down the line right away. The forehand is the weaker side, yes. However, when she's playing well, she doesn't miss that either. It just has a little bit less on it. And so you can get chances on the forehand if you're really working it hard. You will get a short ball that you can do a bit more with. However, you will be running a lot, because when she's on the forehand side and caught there, she will go cross court down the line, cross court down the line, and you will run for your life.
The
9th year of the new grandstand, which has been moved from its original home next to the Louis Armstrong over into this southeastern corner. And a lot of the talk about it is it's quite a skiddy court.
Wozniacki.
It's marked very nicely.
Armstrong.
Jessika Ponchet to serve. Love 15.
Jessika currently is ranked at 143 in the world, but her prize for getting to the third round is on the live ranking. She is 103, so she's like, this makes a big difference. And it's the reward for getting through the qualifying, which is a big deal. She beat some good players. She beat Jana Fett in straight sets. She beat a Croatian in the 150s, and then she beat Elizabeth Mandlik, who is the daughter of one of my favourite players, Hannah Mandlikova, former champion here. Again, didn't drop a set.
30-15.
And then she got a little, I would say, fortunate because she played Zheng Saisai, who's ranked in the thousands. She's been top 50, top 30. She hasn't barely played a singles match in about 3 or 4 years. She came in on a protected ranking, and so look, she's you know, hit the jackpot really, and then got a walkover from Rebecca, and here she is.
And it's really interesting that you say that, because that's so true. She had one of the toughest draws in the qualifying draw. I was there during the entire fan week, and she really had one good player after the other. And then in the main draw, just things opened up a little bit for her. And so in tennis, tennis giveth, tennis taketh away. It's basically summed up
You sound like
in a nutshell.
You sound like such a sage.
I wish I had known that when I was still playing.
Yeah, the things we wish we would have known on the tour. Early break point here. Oops.
Deuce.
Did you get the sense, I know it was a little while ago when you played Jessika, did you get the sense that you never quite knew what was coming next?
Yeah, absolutely. And she would, and I played her on clay, and she would still mix in the serve and volleys every now and then. Good backhand down the line. It looks quirky, but she can really, she has a lot of strength in her forehand to guide it down the line.
Oops.
Advantage Wozniacki.
So she's definitely not a player to be underestimated, especially because it's difficult to gauge what she's going to do next.
Does she know? That's the question.
Game Wozniacki.
The early break as these two get to know each other.
Wozniacki leads 2 games to love. First set.
And I think Caroline is doing exactly the right thing. One shot into the backhand and then make Jessika run into the forehand. You see that take back where she just drops the racket down. That works when she gets a shot towards her, but when she has to run into the forehand, she struggles at times there.
15 love. Love. Forty love. Game Wozniacki.
Wozniacki back in a familiar routine, quickly pulls up.
Love.
Interesting development from Ponchet. She didn't play any junior ITFs. Oh, she went at 14 straight away to play on the smallest tour events that you could, particularly around her home in Bayonne, which is a lovely part of southwest France, very close to the Pyrenees and the Spanish border. It's a good spot.
15 all.
You know, and at 27, so for, you know, over sort of a decade and apart, she has spent her time mainly in the 200s. She's ducked inside sort of 150 from time to time, but it's quite a tough place to you know, to
30, 15.
ply your trade.
Yeah, to survive on, yeah.
She obviously loves her tennis. And, you know, she has been rewarded for sticking at it. This may be the highlight of her career. You never know. But that ranking, that you know, if she can hold inside one, you know, around that 100 mark, she'll be main draw at Australian Open.
And she's a very good doubles player, if you've ever seen her play doubles. So if she can just get into those main draws, I think on the doubles side, she will have a good career.
Lovely.
$40-15.
Again, just good court awareness. She transitions well into the net, closes the net down. Caught there in the right moment. And again, that running into the forehand corner is where she struggles, and Wozniacki is doing a good job in making the court big. That quirky technique of Ponchet's, it works well when she gets the ball into her room, more or less, when she doesn't have to go a lot of steps. But difficult on the outsides of the court.
Deuce.
It's a big deal, isn't it? Going up a Grand Slam champion from a world #1. Someone that she would have watched for many years growing up. There's, see how my maths is today. There's about 7 years between them.
Well, and then on top, playing somebody who doesn't give you any gifts, who just makes ball after ball after ball. You just have to win every point against Caroline Wozniacki.
Game Ponchet.
Allez. Good job.
Wozniacki leads 3-1. First set.
Don't forget you can download the app, and it's got all sorts of things on there. Interesting things, tracking scores. You can watch the match highlights. You can get player news. And then new this year, you can watch live 3D views of all the singles matches, and you can get that at the App Store and at the Google Play.
Love.
You could just see there that bit more heaviness on the forehand side of Wozniacki's, which she didn't quite have before her comeback. A bit more spin on it, a bit more rotation.
Love.
This time a couple of years ago, she was in the commentary box working for American TV. I got a chance to get to sit alongside her for the BBC at Wimbledon. She was heavily pregnant. I was quite concerned. I'm not great with the whole birth thing. And she said that's what motivated her to come back. Did you think when she retired
40 love.
we'd see her back?
I did not, no.
Because
I did not.
when she did stop, which was Australian Open 2020, what timing that was. You know, she has the rheumatoid arthritis. She's been very open about that. And was really struggling with it.
Game.
This
Wozniacki.
match going along at
Crazy to believe.
probably both, Andrea.
Yeah, probably both.
Fifteen love.
As I mentioned, Jessika, at the moment just inside the world's top 50. Well, you still have to win quite a few matches to get to that ranking, and she has done a lot of winning this year on the level below the tour, in the challenges.
Go.
I think it's easy to look around and think, be quite dismissive. But she has travelled, all over particularly all over Europe. She went to Texas. Actually, she's qualified for a couple of tour events. She's just on the sort of the rim of the tour.
Oh. Please. Love.
Well, if you look at her year this year, she's won 29 matches. That is a lot of matches won, no matter on what level. You just get used to winning, becomes an automatism.
Jessika Ponchet.
We can always enjoy a one-hander down the line.
Wozniacki leads 4-2 first set.
You just looked at me and asked it with your face whether automatism is an English word, and I definitely translated that from German into English, but made it sound very professional.
I tell you what, you sold it to me, as I am sold on that backhand. Lovely release, lovely. Wait, it's a word now, it's going in the dictionary.
Oh, nice.
15 love.
Just one question mark over Caroline is, how's the back? Because she had a lot of treatment in her previous match over on the Louis Armstrong against Zarazua. She said it's feeling a bit wonky, and I have to say I know what that stands for.
That's a very good point in that match
30
against Zarazua.
love.
Her second serve really was around the 65-mile-per-hour mark. You could see that something was hampering her.
Let for serve.
So that whatever aches and pains she's carrying. Here's an English word for you. She's a trooper.
Yeah.
When everybody else is complaining, and I've been at tournaments, say like at Eastbourne where it's raining and everyone wants to go, everyone wants to go to London and everything. Caroline's just like no moaning.
Yeah.
just gets on with it. I always knew that if there was a difficult set of conditions or circumstances at any event, the Dane would come through.
Game Wozniacki.
Slip one down there.
New balls, please.
Eases to a 5-2 lead in this first set.
Wozniacki leads.
And also, she just wants a fair fight, and she loves the competition. She thrives on it, and I think that's her biggest strength.
Love.
This now you very much suspect is an exercise in concentration for Wozniacki against an unfamiliar and rather unusual opponent.
Oh. 15-all.
First serve of Ponchet is very good, gets good speed on it, nice accuracy. Just the second is where Wozniacki can make some damage.
Nice close.
40-15. Let second serve. Game Ponchet. Wozniacki leads 5-3. First set. Let first serve. Love.
Just get the sense that she's taking nothing for granted and not underestimating Jessika.
Love.
Piotr's now coaching Olivia. But apparently can't get the racket out of her hand. She loves it.
Oh, wow.
30-15.
I caught the line, nice.
Piotr's never going to be able to retire. I think
No,
he thought he was
the
going to
poor man.
put his feet up in
The poor
Monaco.
man.
It's like, no.
For the first time, a bit of trouble here. Great depth here on the backhand.
40-30.
Nicely struck. They don't think so. They think it's
Relaxing.
yeah, relaxing is a good word. Yeah.
So Wozniacki, isn't it? And she's going about this. First chance to wrap up this set.
Game after
It's
set.
as straightforward as the
Wozniacki.
scoreline suggests. The former
6
two-time
games
finalist
to
taking the
3.
first by 6 games to 3.
Ponchet to serve. Fifteen love.
And it's worked a few times now. That really
15 all.
high, heavy spin into the one-handed backhand of Ponchet, and that is generally the shot one-handers struggle with, the high one, when it jumps up above the shoulder. She plays really well at the net. It looks
30,
weird,
50.
but she closes it well. The net, if you take a look, she's up there quickly, doesn't do too much with the first volley, and then just puts it away.
She's got a good sense, hasn't she, of being in the forecourt and not panicking. Wonderful from Caroline.
Thirty all.
getting rather good now.
40-30.
Yeah, she has settled in very nicely here. Just in the very beginning of the match, you could see her missing a few shots that she wasn't maybe supposed to miss. Now she's able to push Wozniacki back behind the baseline, controls most of the rallies when she's serving, especially when that first serve finds the court. Yeah, I think Caroline needs to force herself to just put a bit more miles per hour on her ground strokes, because when Ponchet has that kind of beat before she can strike the ball, she's very good. But when you put her under pressure, that technique tends to go off.
Advantage Ponchet.
Would you like to see her get in as much as possible? I mean, is that a way back into this match?
You mean Caroline?
Ponchet.
Ponchet, I think so. I think she should mix in the serve and volley. I think it makes her first serve better when she moves forward.
Oh, yeah. Caroline's been hitting that shot since the year dot. Target, yes, please.
No, her favorite thing to have is that. Yeah, that was twice the wrong ball to approach on. She actually had a chance with that serve, because Caroline tends to try and neutralize first serve through the center of the court with good depth. But this was a very late decision, left the entire court open.
Deuce. Advantage Ponchet.
It's got that very flat serve. And I don't know if you remember Nathalie Tazier, one of the best French players in many years. And she used to just slap that first serve down. Used to go very deep in the box, hard to return. Yep.
Deuce.
Just when we praised her net play, of course, we completely jinxed her and it goes wayward.
Oh. Advantage Wozniacki.
There's a chance to break early in this second set. Just the one break in the first.
Deuce. Advantage Ponchet. Deuce. Advantage Wozniacki.
Oh, two-time finalist looking to break early in the second, as she did in the first. Just really established herself in this third-round match.
Let to serve.
Game. Wozniacki off to a good start in the second. Ursula Advanska, and she came up to the media centre to do Danish TV. Only 15. And I saw her in the bathroom afterwards. After the match, before TV, you wouldn't have known that she'd just been in a massive match.
Yeah.
She was like, oh hi, not like it was like nothing. And I really, I was more impressed by that than actually her winning the title. But she was so composed after, coming up from match point down, and then off to do TV. And I watched her closely afterwards. I mean, a year later, she played here as a teenager, made her debut. A couple of years after that, she was making the final. It just all happened very quickly for her.
It did, and then she was there forever, it felt like.
I mean, she was #1 for 71 weeks, and I think she just celebrated her 20th birthday. She's never really known anything but success.
Yeah. She's won a title for 11 straight years, every year.
Yeah, that was all too easy.
13-15.
Ponchet did something there that there's a great expression for. The French have. It's called monter aux chaussettes. And it means literally coming to the net in your socks, i.e. it's a total bluff.
Yeah, it's just hoping for the best.
And she's done that. A lot of monter aux chaussettes in this match.
But it's also what Caroline Wozniacki does to you. At one point in the match, the longer it goes, you feel like there is no way you can win easy points anymore. So you try to shorten the rallies somehow. And that's where unforced errors creep in, or rushed decisions that were not the right ones, because we saw the potential at the net she has in the beginning stages of the match.
Game of Wozniacki.
Moving this along a little more quickly now.
Wozniacki leads 2-0. Second set.
She's got a very good record here in New York when she wins the first set. She's won 34 of 36 matches.
Wow.
When she's won the first. Only Jankovic in 2008 in the fourth round was able to come back against, and that was when Jankovic was in her pomp. And then randomly, a few years later, Camillo Giorgi, the Italian. I mean, anything can happen there. That was in the third round. But, you know, pretty much every year Caroline's come here, she's just pumped out some great results.
Love 15.
I don't know what's happened today, Andrea, but it feels much more relaxed. And maybe it's the weekend, maybe it's the holiday on Monday.
Oh, wow.
That's easy.
Love 13.
Great record-breaking putt. It felt like the place we've been like plugged into the mains overnight. Every time you came in, it was like, whoa. It's an extraordinary event.
Just more and more people every year flocking through the gates.
But coming here with huge energy and excitement. You've never been. We're probably not describing it as well, but it's just, there's just a feel when you come here. You feel alive. Easy pickings. And Wozniacki eyeing up the double break.
Love 14.
Was that another sock attack, in your opinion?
Sock attack. You've taken Monte Chaussette to a whole new
level.
Yeah. You've stretched my little French phrase.
Game
I'm
of
afraid it's all unraveling a little.
Love.
One hand up. Starting to look rather flimsy now.
Love.
What a point by Ponchet. Had
13-15.
so much depth in that forehand. Sent Wozniacki from left to right and then got the short one. Stayed calm. But this is what it requires to put Wozniacki aside. Just such mental load when you're playing her.
40-15.
When she first came onto the tour and started having very early success, Brad Gilbert, and he made this as a compliment, called Caroline the grinder's grinder. That was a great tagline.
Game
The beat
Wozniacki.
goes on.
Well, and I thought that narrative for a while when she wasn't able to win a major
Wozniacki
quite yet,
leads
but was number
4
one in the
games to
world.
love.
Of
Second
her
set.
being a pusher, quite unfair, because everyone who has ever played her knew that was wrong.
Stay connected to the US Open on Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and WhatsApp, and join the conversation with hashtag US Open.
Fifteen love. Thirty love. Forty love.
You have to work very hard. You want to get a game against Caroline Wozniacki, you earn them.
40-15.
I keep thinking throughout this match, that what is a Ponchet? And I don't think it's any. I don't think it is a noun for anything, but it should be a very stylish waterproof. A Ponchet.
Nice.
I'm going to start making up words.
Okay.
Oops. Oh,
Game
magnificent.
Ponchet.
What a way to win the game. First hold for
Wozniacki
Ponchet
leads 4
in
games
this
to 1.
second set.
Second set. By 1 set to love. Love 15.
They're very linear strikes, aren't they?
But I have to say, I'm very impressed with her mindset. I think she stayed nice and positive throughout the entire match, and it's not been easy.
Trying to get a gauge on that forehand grip. It's so Western. It might be Eastern. I'm going to check out that coaching manual in Bayonne. Find out what it is.
Did you just create the
15.
horseshoe theory of grips? You know, with the horseshoe, it almost touches at the end. It's the opposite, but it's then in the end maybe the same. so much Western that it's almost easy.
I've not heard it called a horseshoe before.
Really? You
No.
haven't? So the horseshoe in politics, the horseshoe is like when you're so far right that you're almost left again, or so far left that you're almost right again. And you created the horseshoe theory of grips on the forehand side.
Okay. We're just making things up.
Yeah.
Oh!
Fourteen, 15. Left, toss off.
Oh, yes.
14, 13.
Doesn't seem to have a problem timing it off the ground, does she?
Yeah, and whenever something drops short, she's very good in getting up to there. She recognizes the short ball well and moves up to it quickly, takes it on the rise.
Game Wozniacki. Wozniacki leads 5-1. Second set.
So after 63 minutes, the qualifier and surprise player in this third round, Jessika Ponchet, going to try and serve to stay in this year's US Open.
15 love.
And I believe she is the last qualifier standing.
Love. Love.
Oh! Oh!
40-15.
It's really good for Wozniacki for the rest of the tournament to have a match in the day, because she finished pretty late actually the other night on Armstrong. She said she's a very good sleeper. I don't think you got any sleep when you had children.
Oh!
You're probably very good at sleeping when you have a chance.
Oh, yes. Very well played. Got the angle off that high ball. That is not easy to do. This one right here, timed it well.
Why is that so hard?
It's just the moment you have it above your shoulder, and she did, to then press it down with your wrist. Not many have that strength. You either have to have the timing or the strength. think Caroline timed it well, this particular moment here.
Deuce.
And that cliche in tennis, playing point by point, Wozniacki is the perfect exact. She always plays point by point. That's why when you play her with time, you feel suffocated by that, because you have the feeling you cannot allow yourself any mental lapse whatsoever.
Advantage. Ponchet.
It's so easy to say, isn't it? Play point by point. Very difficult,
Very difficult
for us mortals
Yes.
to have a go at. And that imposes just huge pressure. And she has been right at the top of the game for a long time, as Caroline.
Game.
But
Ponchet.
so that is
New
a feisty hold from Ponchet.
Wozniacki leads 5-2. Second set. By 1 set to love.
As well. It's wide open. I love it.
Looking for back-to-back fourth-round berths, just as she did about a decade and a half ago. On those occasions, she reached the semi-finals both times.
Love 13.
She's been so dominant in this match, Wozniacki. First time she's had any sort of bother at all on serve. She never stops working, does she? Exhausting.
And that's just
30-all.
so annoying from the opponent's perspective, how Caroline is able to produce these points over and over again. Your pulse is still 180 and hers seems to have dropped right back down to 85.
Well, this is the woman that ran the New York Marathon. I think it was around about 3.5 hours, wasn't it? Getting a rare break in these super tight New York nets.
40,
Unfortunate way to bring up
13.
match point. Sounds like a motorbike.
Yeah.
Just sort of spinning around the back of the court.
Oh.
Game, second match,
Wozniacki
Wozniacki.
books her
Was that
place
allowed?
in the last 16.
6-2.
Continued success in New York for Caroline Wozniacki, where she's so popular, having reached the finals on 2 occasions. The last was a decade ago where she lost to Serena, but today she was so